episode of the Foursquare Show. We are coming at you here at the very end of March, almost. It's recording on March 30th. So we are about a little more than a month away from the 2026 Foursquare World Championship. So we're getting close here, but we are happy to announce that we have a guest on the show, as you can probably see. You know what? You deserve a better entrance than that. So let me share. I'm going to share audio. I should have been prepared for this. Here we go. All right. We got ourselves not a one time. Anybody can do one time. It's like, not 2 times, not 3, not 4, not even 5, but we got ourselves a 6-time women's world champion at Foursquare. Undoubtedly the best Foursquare. All right. Slow down.
No. You're going.
Keep going.
Keep it rolling.
Undoubtedly the greatest women Foursquare player to ever grace our planet, Miss Brittany Dunay. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
Dunay. I should. Okay. Dunay. Welcome to the show. I'm gonna stop the sound effects here. Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I hope the entrance was worthy of the grace that you've provided us here today.
Yeah, it's not as many titles as I'd like, but
Well, actually, that was a question I have, so let's just jump right in. So, have you ever lost? Like, every time that you've played, have you won?
I have not.
Okay.
So when I first started, Tiffany Terrio, don't know where she's at these days. I'd love for her to make a presence again. She was a good competitor.
Yes.
I don't know how many times she beat me, but she's won a good amount of times too. And so she's definitely beat me before. And I think there was at least one other year where somebody else had beaten me as well. So
when was your first year coming?
my first year was 2012. I went to college at the University of New England, and that's not where I grew up. I grew up in Pennsylvania, just happened to go to school in Maine, and they had a club fair, found out that there was a Foursquare club, ran very well, very accepting, and I'm a very competitive person, so I found out that they were doing a world championship or competing in it, and I was like, okay, sign me up. Painted my face and everything, and I was getting real into it. And so that's the first year I competed and the first year that I won.
Nice. It sounds like you've won about half of them since then. Have you been to all of them? Most of them?
I have not been to all of them. I'm not sure how many I've been to compared to how many I've lost. I'd say I've lost, well, I've lost at least 2, possibly 3. So, and then the other years I didn't compete, wasn't able to come, or there was also one year where I drove one of the school vans up, and we were supposed to have really bad weather that night. So unfortunately, they made me return to campus before being able to compete. So that was another year I didn't get to play either. But majority of the times that I've played, I'd say I won.
It's a good person to have on the show. We're just going to grill you and fire questions at you for the next 30 minutes. So get ready. It's just like Foursquare, having people just slamming it at you.
Yeah, Joe, Dan, feel free to ask away or chime in. I'm just going to keep asking because I have like 1,000 questions.
Honestly, like half the stuff Brittany's talking about, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, yep, I remember when she painted her face.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about the camp and at school where you got into the Foursquare camp. Had you ever played Foursquares like prior to that, like as a kid or during summer camps or just in the driveway or anything like that, or was that like the first time you started?
Yeah, so when I was a really little kid, I think as most people find out about Foursquare, I played at recess, and then it kind of, fell off as we got older. And then in high school, I did a couple of mission trips, and it came back on like our downtime. I don't know if we met people who were playing it or how it really got started, but in our downtime, we would play Foursquare, and so kind of got back into it. And then just so happens in college, I was like walking around that club fair, and I was like, Foursquare Club, like it's meant to be, kind of thing. And so so yes, I did have some prior experience, but also different rules, right? Growing up, you have like the bus stop and different things that wouldn't be allowed in the championship.
Just to kind of get everybody on the same level, for you, what are the names of the four squares?
Oh, I mean, I've called them 1, 2, 3, 4, but also like I guess the king square, but I feel like you never refer to the third square as the queen square, like anything like that. It'd just be like the king square. So
Yeah.
that's how I've always kind of done it. And then 1 being across from the king or the fourth square.
Yeah. What about just the name of the sport? Four square plural or four squares? Or sorry, yeah, four square singular or four squares plural with an S at the end. How do you refer to it as?
Foursquare single
Oh,
singular.
okay. All right. And I think that's how you all, yeah, well, you know what? I've adapted that. I still definitely accidentally say four squares, but I've been trying to work on switching my vernacular to four square because it sounds like
Yeah.
that's the consensus for most people.
And given that she went to the University of New England, I'm taking her position as the official New England position on the name.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm wearing in 2012 they had shirts. Some years they've had shirts, some years they haven't. So I did wear my Foursquare shirt. It's hard to see the lettering because it's like a bright green, but it says Foursquare, no S.
All right. Well, there we go. I think it's official. Speaking of which, while we're on the topic, if anybody wants to pick up some swag and merchandise for this year's Foursquare Championship, check out the new website, foursquareworldchampionships.org. Tell me a little bit about the face paint. So you alluded to it earlier. I think it's fantastic. And I sometimes it's almost like, I don't know if you watch like wrestling, WWE, but sometimes like Foursquare is like, especially the World Championship event, it's very like, it can be a little gimmicky. Like we've had, Tiger Claw and other people dressing up like certain gimmicks and whatnot. Your face paint is awesome. Like, is it just for fun? Is there like a gimmick situation? Like, do you do it to intimidate? Is it kind of like, I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but like when Darth Vader or when Anakin turned to Darth Vader and he became like kind of a whole different person, a whole different ego. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
So I don't know what really convinced me to do it. I think I always tell people all of my life I've been a little weird. So I try to be different or unique in certain ways. So I think I've always kind of just wanted to get in the spirit of things. So like I said, in my first year, I was kind of like, oh, like I'll paint my face. I'm going to go like all the way into this and, just have fun with it. I didn't expect to go and win my first year. So, I just wanted to have fun with it. So I've definitely gotten much better at the face paint. And I mean, I'm happy to send pictures of earlier days of the face paint, but I think through the years it's gotten more refined and much better. But no, I don't think I do it to intimidate or anything. I think just because I did it that first year, I kind of
It's your thing.
just have that unique thing about me. I think I'm the only one who goes and like does something with my face paint. I know some people will do like the black lines or things like that, but like the full line. Usually I try to keep it like around my eyes now,
Yeah.
Early days, I think I did like half my face blue one year with stripes and stuff. So there's been usually I do it different every year, but I've more centralized around like my eyes for it now.
You got that, I mean, when we hit it big with ESPN, like that's going to be huge for your character, right? I mean, Dan, we got trying to get Dan to be the strategist. That's his nickname. We're still working on Joe's nickname. I don't know if we have a nickname for Joe yet. I think my nickname is the Assassin, which I'm not sure is like politically correct. I'm not sure if I've signed off on that one yet, but
I don't think you're allowed to sign off on your own nickname.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's deliberately not.
Until you actually start assassinating people out of the squares, like you can't have the name. See, I can just go with Average Joe because I'm just average.
Oh, there we go.
It's the understated.
Exactly.
The Average Joe sneak attack.
Keep the bar low and then just slowly exceed past it.
I find my life is easier the lower I keep everyone's expectations.
Exactly.
So, Brittany, when you have the face paint on, do you see yourself differently? Do you like feel it and know that it's on, or is it something that you like put on beforehand and then sort of forget about, and you're out there playing and you wouldn't even realize you have it on if someone didn't comment on it?
No, I'm definitely fully aware of it. Honestly, it's almost more distracting than anything because I'm like a fidgeter and I feel like I touch my face a lot, especially when I'm sweating. You know, I want to wipe the sweat away. And I have to be very mindful that I have face paint on and can't do that. So every once in a while, I'll like brush it and then I'm like, man, so then I got to go to like the mirror and see if it's all messed up or, yeah, it's, I'd say it's more of a distraction than anything that's helping me.
And I think along those lines as well, just what's your playing style like? Are you demonstrative and like, or like quiet or apologetic? I mean, what's it like playing Foursquare with you?
It depends. I'd say in the first 2 rounds, I'm a bit more easygoing. You know, try to be everybody's friend in a way. I will say I play with a lot of strategy, and I'm not going to give away what all of my strategies are, but I have quite a few strategies that are kind of constantly going through my mind while I play. So I don't think I ever really play aggressively. I don't really think any of the women play super aggressively, to be honest, but I think I play strategically enough that that's what helps me win.
So I won't take too deep into that, but playing strategically in terms of who you're hitting it to, you're evaluating the people, or you're evaluating kind of the space, the ball. Are you going to slam it? Are you going to take it easy, or try to scoot it along the ground? Kind of that kind of strategy.
I'd say all of it. I'd say who is in the squares along with me. Kind of trying to be mindful of either time or points that other people may have. And then positioning in the squares, how people may be positioning themselves, and then positioning myself in a certain way. And really just understanding how the other players are playing helps me adjust to how I need to play.
I want to take like a college course of you on how to do strategy in Foursquare, because we've
with the whiteboard and the X's and O's.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we've talked quite a bit in our shows and just in regards to like strategy and whatnot. And I hear you, Brittany, like I also sometimes like, oh, I don't want to say that because I don't want to give stuff away. But I mean, one of the many things that I and probably all of us love about Foursquare is not just that it's an athletic event. The strategery that's involved is again, I think we've made this analogy. I look almost like the Survivor, like the show. There's just so much involved with, what round is it? Who else are in the squares? What did you do with them last time? What did they do to you? What did they do to somebody else? Like, what's going to happen if I do that? What's going to happen if I don't do that? There's just so much. So yes, I will certainly respect the fact that you don't want to give away like the details of that. But I guess I'm wondering, like to Dan's point, do you have like a different strategy when it comes down to like the championship round, or when it comes down to maybe like the final few? Like, do you kind of like, all right, you've seen everything that you have to see, now you're a little bit more aggressive or maybe a little bit more passive? Like, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, so in the first two rounds, I think because there's typically so few women, and I would love to see that change, but
Yeah.
there's less pressure in the first two rounds. As long as you're like doing decent enough, you're probably going to go to the championship round for the women. So I don't play super hard in those rounds. I don't want to exhaust myself, and, just again, getting a feel for it and
Mm.
trying to like observe how people are playing, which can also be tough. In some years when we're combined with the kids or the first rounds combined everybody, it, makes it a little harder.
Yeah.
But definitely in the championship round is when I'm going like,
Yeah.
full in, and
Yeah. Yeah.
playing smart, so not overly aggressive, because I don't play really during the year. I pretty much play at the championship is all I kind of get. So if I start trying to slam balls and stuff, I know I'm going to hit it out. So it's finding the balance of playing aggressively enough, but also, you know, being reserved enough to control the ball too.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I think also with that, in the first two rounds, it being timed, being mindful of the time versus the third round, the championship round, which last year was the first year that I played where it was elimination
Yeah.
based.
Yep.
Maybe controversially, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's a whole different strategy, I feel like, when you're trying to get points in the King's Square versus trying to get people out.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a different strategy in that regard as well. So, you really have to pay attention to, again, who the other players are in the square with you and how they play, and, who are they going to aim for? And which a lot of times is me. I, paint a big target on my back, painting my face. And, but, so I feel like a lot of people tried to come after me, but I kind of, in a way, try to use that against them as well. So.
Yeah. Speaking of controversial stuff, do you, I should remember, but do you typically hit the ball underhand, or do you also, like, I know the rules state you can hit it however you want, but I
Mhm.
know we've talked about this and we typically just, that's the way we grew up in playing the game, so it's just the way we naturally play. How do you usually hit the ball? Do you do it either way, or how do you typically do that?
So during the year, I try to play volleyball, and I'd say that's a big help. If anybody is trying to figure out a way to get better at foursquare, volleyball is isn't exactly similar, but definitely that hand-eye coordination and the quick reactions and things,
Mm,
and also just, getting feel for a ball.
yeah.
But I would say because of somewhat of a volleyball background, I almost like push the ball in a way. I only do underhand on a serve, or if
Yeah.
it's like really low and I'm just trying to get it back up. But otherwise, I'd say it's typically almost like a push of some sort or like over the top.
Another somewhat controversial thing are what we refer to as air balls. What are your thoughts on that? As of right now, we've had it. I think we changed it last year where the adult divisions are able to do air balls, the children are not. And I know there was like a little snafu last year where we had the women intermingled with the children in the first round. That's changed for what it's worth, just so you know. We're changing that this upcoming year, that the men and
Mhm.
the women will be together, and then the children will have their own thing going on. How do you feel about air balls in general?
So I can't speak to the kids. I think they're great. I think
Yeah.
it makes the game a lot faster. Um, I've never seen an instance where people are like trying to run into each other or anything like that. So that'd probably be my only concern with it.
Yeah.
The women don't typically play aggressively like that. And honestly, like, I wish I did, but I also don't. And sometimes I'm just standing there and we're all like waiting for it. And then, like, too late, I'll be like, oh, I can go hit that ball. So the women don't really do that. And honestly, that probably helps me out some. But I do, again, wish that the women would play more aggressively, make it a faster game, make it challenging.
Mm,
The guys, I think the men's is more entertaining to watch because they do more stuff like that, which is probably why there's a bigger draw there as well.
Well, one of our
Let's go.
initiatives. Oh,
I
go
was
ahead,
gonna
Dan. I think we're going to the same spot. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's go recruit some college athletes. Kind of where sounds like where you came from. Were you a college athlete, or am I just making that up?
So I ran cross country.
Okay, yeah, it's like go get some more people like you from schools, and hopefully they'll be a little more not competitive in terms of skill, but competitive in terms of desire and aggression.
Yeah, and one of our initiatives this year and ongoing is to really try to bolster up the women's division. There's been a few things just, discussed internally here that we're trying to figure things out and really highlight the women's division. And actually, well, I'll mention one of those things is a recent development, which is that we're going to have the women and the men's championship rounds occur at the same time versus having the women go while the children's championship is going and then just doing the men. That was actually a suggestion that came in from the folks at Bridgton Rec, which I think is a great suggestion. So, and I think there's other opportunities as well. And I think one of those things is your endorsement of this wonderful sport. Now, we were talking a little bit before we went live here, and not so wonderful news that it sounds like you will not be able to participate this year in the World Championship. I don't know if you want to give that announcement to all your fans.
And would be competitors who are going to be
and competitors. Yeah, some will be happy and some will be sad. Yeah,
breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah, so it's not my full-time job, but part-time. I am in the New York Air National Guard, so I spend a lot of time, not a ton of time, but a decent amount of time traveling up there for that, and doing certain drill weekends and things for them. But also part of that is traveling for the military. So I will unfortunately be on a trip during that time, but I think I'd be back like right before it, but I wouldn't be able to get up there because I also now live in Oklahoma. So quite a hike to get up there as well. But hopefully future years, I'll be able to align it better and get back. But I do hope, I know last year, the women that did go and compete, a lot of them, it was their first year competing, and they kind of were there because of their kids playing, it seemed, and they were like, well, I might as well do something while I'm here, and they all loved it, or they seemed to love it. They said that they want to play again, and so I hope they also, word of mouth, try to get more people to come, because I think once you do experience it, it's almost addicting, like you want to keep trying, so.
Yeah, I love that. I love this question. And I feel like it is so true. I'm not even over exaggerating. Okay. How does it feel to know that if Foursquare was an Olympic sport or a professional sport, you would be as famous as Michael Jordan? That is an actual genuine question that I think is true, 100% true.
I mean, I've never thought of it that way. It's hard to say because, Foursquare isn't quite on that level. So he's certainly competed against many more people than I have. But it's always my fun fact.
You're being humble. You're being humble, which I appreciate. But you're being humble. It frustrates me, selfishly, because I don't understand why Foursquare isn't an Olympic sport. I don't get it.
It's hard to gamble on.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when I say that, so it's usually my fun fact when I you do those introductions at work or whatever, and it's like, you got to say a fun fact. So this is usually my fun fact. And I feel like once I start talking to it about people, and somehow the Olympics come up, and it's like, well, it should be in the Olympics, and all this stuff. And I'm like, but I might not be where I'm at today if it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I would love to see it go there. That would be incredible. And again, just seeing the level of competitiveness, if it was at the Olympic level, would be a whole other game, and it'd be really exciting to talk about. And I'd still love to compete in it. challenge myself, and hopefully I'd still win. You never know. But
Someday, hopefully
yeah,
we'll get
someday.
there. We'll do everything that we can in our power to push it along. Um, you've been covered in, at least as far as I know, a couple of local newspapers. Has there been other notoriety or other, I don't know, even smaller things within your town or within anywhere that has picked up on this at all? Or
Not that I'm aware of.
okay,
I know. So my full-time job, I work for Geico, and I think like 1 year, some management got like really into it and was really excited to hear that I was like competing in this and, doing well. So it got like a little bit of notoriety, if that's what you want to call it, from
hmm
there. But it's not like Geico was like, we're going to sponsor you to go do this, that would have been cool. But
yeah,
no, I don't think I've
okay,
heard any
all
of
right,
that. So
all right. Well, I know, I don't, do you know Mark Pryor? He's also won a bunch of
mhm.
championships. Yeah. So we're gonna have him on the show someday as well.
Nice.
But I remember him telling me a story about how he kind of like created his own notoriety. He was kind of almost his own agent, and I think at one point, he went to Dick's Sporting Goods and like did like a ball signing. And it was like all kind of set up by himself, but also legit as well. I mean, he just basically served as his own representative to get that to happen. I have a couple of other stories, a few of my own as well, which we'll share on another show. But um, man, again, ESPN's just got to pick us up. That's the bottom line. Speaking of ESPN, this is one of my final questions, but um, I guess I'm wondering, like, here's some like examples of I get pie in the sky. All right. If you could maybe pick something about Foursquare that you would like to see occur or enhanced about the sport, like again, for example, ESPN covering us, or like a big, huge actual stadium, or like maybe the lines lighting up when the ball hits it, so like it's known that it was a line. I'm just like these are just examples. Do you have anything that has come across that you've been when you've been playing, or anything off the top of your head right now that you're like, oh, I'd love to see that happen?
I mean, a couple of things. I mean, the lion thing, I've never heard of that, but that would be excellent. uh, no, I think, just
Instant
getting
replay,
more
maybe.
people to do it.
Yeah.
And I've thought about like how that would work. And I think part of it that helped was moving it to not a winter month in Maine. I don't think a
Yeah.
lot of people want to travel to Maine in the winter.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want it to move from Maine. I love Maine. I went to school there, still have a lot of friends up there. I don't know if moving it would help draw more attention in some way to get just more people, but I love Maine. So
Well,
selfishly, I don't want it to move from
It's a
there,
good
yeah,
but
I
excuse to get
know.
up there too. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, I wouldn't get up there if it weren't for the championship. So I'm glad it's there.
yeah.
Yeah, same. And like you, Brittany, it's my fun fact as well. Whenever, I need to, and people are always like, well, why is it in Maine? I'm like, I don't know, but I do know that, and we're kind of involved now, but the folks at Bridgton Rec are like they're incredible. They're very cooperative, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. And Peter is, who's kind
Mhm.
of started it all and everything. So I think those are probably the main reasons why. But it's like, wait, is Maine like the random like mecca of Foursquare that we don't know about? And I don't really think it is, but yeah, it's just a great area. And I agree. The time of year is a lot suitable during the spring. So. Um, well, I don't have any other questions that doesn't violate like you giving away strategic tips that I would love to hear. But
I've
Joe,
got I've got
anything? Oh
I've
yeah,
got
yeah. Go
one,
ahead.
which
Yeah.
is just favorite game, memory, round, anything where you're like, oh man, that one was good. Like, that serve, that save, that rally, any of those that come to mind?
Oh, I'm sure if I thought long and hard about it, but honestly, I mean, nothing will beat the first year of going into the unknown and, coming out a champion that first year. But I think a lot of it has to do with the people. And when I joined in college, the club that existed, and we all went up together, and we got T-shirts and stuff like that, and a lot of that credit I think goes to Kevin Connell, who really held us all together. I think when he graduated, the club sort of dissolved, and to my knowledge, the club no longer exists. But I think when you're around like the people kind of boosting you up, and like everybody does a good job of that anyway, even strangers, that you don't know. But I think when there was that team aspect, that felt like they were kind of behind me too, and they were supporting me, and we're all having fun together, and you're kind of competing against people as well. I don't think anything will kind of beat that feeling.
I love that, and
Yeah.
I've said this.
I want to piggyback off of that because I remember. Oh, snap, crackle, pop. I think it was. You weren't there at the time, but I think it was either 2010, maybe 2011. I had just met the crew down at UNE, and they had invited me to come down and like practice with the team. I was like, all right, yeah, cool, I'll go down. So, this is before I had my license. My old man brought me down, and the UNE team, Kevin, Brendan, Bill, I think
Brittany.
Tiffany. Yep.
Yeah, Tiffany, Brittany, Kevin's wife.
Yep. Like they were so just, how do I say this? They like kind of brought me into the team. Like I was like for the day I was part of the UNE team. Even though, at the championship back at Bridgton Academy, I was, an enemy, if you will, right? But they were so nice. And I remember when I think it was like my second or third year at the championship, you were there because you had the face paint. I'm like, oh, she's new. Who's on this team? And you were so freaking aggressive. Okay, I am telling you, I saw you play. I was like, shit, I don't want to go near that. No. It's like Kevin Hart. No, I wasn't ready. That's literally almost everybody. At least for me, I wasn't ready to like be part of that. It's like, no, she's gonna whoop my ass, like hands down.
I like
You
to
were
stay
so
competitive.
aggressive, but at the same time, though, you were like afterwards, like we were all talking. You were so nice. I was like, oh, she just plays really aggressive, but she's also like really sweet. All right, she's good in my book.
I like to say competitive, not aggressive, but
no, it's aggressive. I'm calling it.
Do we?
But it's funny because I just found out last year, and you kept having to correct me, Joe, that I thought you went to UNE. And so last year I was like, oh yeah, you remember this? And he's like, I didn't go to UNE. And I was like, oh.
No, I was just really good friends with everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these people obviously I'm not familiar with, but do you all still know their contact info? Are you in touch with them at all? Or I'm just curious if we can maybe get in touch with them again, and maybe they'd be interested in this show and helping the sport along. I don't know if that's possible and if we still have their contact info, but
so I don't know that I have phone numbers. I might, but I'm definitely friends with some of them on Facebook. And I think last year I even, I might have messaged Kevin asking if him and Brittany were going to be going.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to. But
yeah.
Again, I hope all these people, get reinvigorated to come back and compete.
Well,
but
Brittany, please feel free to share on Facebook or Instagram or wherever when this show is posted, which will probably be tomorrow. Please feel free to share it as much as you'd like, and maybe some of your old counterparts and friends and whatnot will see it.
I got a little bit of sprinkles to add on top of what Brittany just said. Let's get the team back together.
Yeah.
20 UNE comeback 2028.
Yeah. The Raging Narwhals. That's what we were called back then.
Yes, the Raging Narwhals. Oh my god. Uh, we got to get the game back together. We got to do it.
Yep.
We'll start like for 2026. So let's try to do this like we'll start planning next year.
Okay.
Try to get it like a year in advance.
Well, I just want to circle back on some of the things you guys were touching on, which was just the overall camaraderie. And to your point, Brittany, like I was the same way when I first came, and I come across this. I want to say it was 2018 or 19, and I was like, oh wow, I got to do this. This looks great. I remember Foursquare. I used to play that when I was a kid. I played every now and then, maybe with my brother, my friend, or my son, and I think I'm pretty good, but I don't know. But either way, I'm gonna go have fun. And just the camaraderie and like coming across of with, other similar people who really enjoy this really quirky, random sport slash game. I mean, the friendships, with Joe and Dan and meeting you and everything and other people. I get to go down every year with my son now, and so it's just become more than just like, oh, I want to go there to win. It's, go there to have fun. And I think we all share that. And I think we're all very like, a lot of us are competitive, but we're also all very, supportive, of one another, which I think is great. Of course, there are times that, things get intense and that's part of the fun as well. But, well, we very much appreciate you being on, and I'm disappointed to hear you won't be there, but I certainly understand. We probably have a couple of small little things we're going to chat about. It's up to you, Brittany, if you need to drop. If you want to stay, please, by all means. I don't know if you need to drop or not, but we have a couple of things we're going to touch base on, so it's up to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably get going. I had just
Okay.
finished dinner right before this, so I'm gonna go eat
All
a
right,
little bit. And
Thank
get
you
ready
so
for
much.
it.
Yeah,
We'll
we
look forward to
Brittany.
2027.
Yeah,
Thank you all. Good luck at the championships this year.
thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right,
Bye.
bye. All right, well, that was awesome. Very humble six-time champion, and that's probably partly why she is a champion because of not just her athletic prowess and her strategery, but obviously just an awesome person all around. So, Joe, thank you for kind of setting that up. I know you.
That was a lot of memories. That was a trip down memory lane right there.
Good times. Good times.
You
Well,
guys have no idea.
yeah, this
Like
sounds
I know we're
awesome.
still recording and everything, but it's like, oh my god, like I remember the whole crew. I forgot they were the Raging Narwhals, and it's oh
This
my
is around
god.
2011, 2012 timeframe.
I started 2010. That's when I started going to the championships, and she started 2012. So she went spring 2012. That's what it was. That was her first year.
That's about the time I found out about it, and I think it took it 12. I think it took me 12 years to get up there. Cool.
So yeah, it's yeah, they had a crew. I kid you not, like they were when we were at Bridgton Academy, they all rolled up together. Same. A couple years they had all the same shirts, like
Mhm.
team uniform, if you will. Other times it all same color T-shirts, whatever. But when they showed up, it was like, oh god, here's a unique guys. Brace yourselves, because the women were competitive, but so were the men. Like
Yeah.
she was saying, Kevin O'Connell, Brendan, he was another fierce competitor. Who else? There was like a handful of guys, and it was just having this great conversation with her.
And they were all
Down,
like college age, right? Like 'cause it was a
yeah,
college club.
they were
Yeah, yeah.
all. So out of that group, technically I was the youngest.
Mhm.
I'm the same age as Brittany because that was freshman year for both of us. But I started going back in 2010.
Mhm.
But yes, they were all college kids.
Mhm.
So
I mean, that's another thing that I would love to see an increase of, which is Foursquare clubs at middle schools, high schools, colleges. I mean, we discussed summer camps and whatnot, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunity. And whenever I hear about any of these clubs, especially obviously what you and Brittany just relayed, it sounds like it's so much fun. And hopefully,
it
maybe
is.
that's something that can,
A lot of it is just having the people there that
mhm,
want it. That's the
mhm,
biggest thing. So, when I was in high school, I we didn't we had a lot of students who played Foursquare. Like it was a big thing at our high school.
mhm.
But when the class of 2010 graduated, that just dwindled by probably 50-60%. Like
Mm.
we
And
lost a lot of kids. Oh,
Yeah.
easily.
it just declined
Um,
after that. Yeah.
well, because a lot of the kids who played was from that class.
Yeah.
And we still had quite a bit of people still play, but again, they were the majority. But my senior year, I ended up, me and a couple friends, we banded together and we made a Foursquare club at the high school. Um, thank you. Um,
Sometimes you just got to step up and make it happen. Look at what we're doing
yeah,
here. Yeah.
it's being cognizant of, all right, no, we have actually a crew for this. Why don't we get a credit for having a co-curricular? Let's just make it a club, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how that happened. I'll put money down the club doesn't exist anymore because I don't think the high school allows Foursquare due to
Yeah.
numerous reasons. But it's being, like I said before, cognizant if there's a lot of people who want to play, but also you need to have people who are willing to step up and make it a club, right?
Right.
So I think for us to try and recreate this movement, it's kind of reaching out to the high school kids,
Mm-hmm. Start young.
which
Yep.
we're going to Lake Region High School this year.
Yep.
That's
A step in the right
literally
direction.
the first step is having
Yep.
it at a high school,
Yep.
which they're going to be doing their own advertisement at the high school and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Yep.
Kids are going to be like, oh, what's this?
Yep.
Oh, it's like $10 a person. Want to
Yep.
go? Yeah, let's go. All right, cool. Boom.
And swing that. Let's do it. Let's see what it is.
Yep.
If we hate it, we
Absolutely.
leave.
Exactly.
If it's boring, we leave. No big loss. Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking
So-
of bringing it to the younger ones, I've got to go put my kids to bed, so I'm gonna
Okay.
sign off. But I'll promise to talk to them about it.
Thanks, Dan. Joe, if you got a couple more minutes, I got two more things I just wanted to run by you. See, Dan. Thank
Later,
you.
Dan.
Well, one is more for everyone to know that again, so pre-registration is open for the championships on May 9th. Again, we're approximately what, 5-ish, 6-ish weeks away. So we really would prefer to have as many people pre-register as possible for planning purposes and for us to know, ahead of time how many people we're expecting, divisions, ages, all the things. And then let's see. Oh, okay. Two more quick things. One, quickly wanted to run by. Well, actually, I wanted to run by it with you, but I think we actually already talked about it offline. So I guess it's more just to communicate to everybody that in years past, we've had folks come and arrive at the championship event once we've already started playing. And obviously, we want to make sure everyone is welcome and, still plays, but there is a little bit of, I guess, it may not be fair for somebody to join, while the game's already started and then have less outs and things like that. So what we determined, and Joe, keep me honest, but I think what we determined is if you do arrive once the game has started, which by the way will be at 1:30 sharp. We're really looking to want to start exactly at 1:30. I would strongly recommend to arrive at 12:30. Participate in warm-ups. We'll do announcements, just get accustomed to everything. And then at 1:30 we'll be starting. But if you do arrive after 1:30, once we've started, you are absolutely still able to, pay and play. But you're basically guaranteed to not make it to the championship round. You'll just be playing for the first couple of rounds. You won't even probably get one of those numbers where you'll be getting your outs tabulated. You'll be playing and having fun and whatnot, but you won't be eligible to make it to the championship round. And I think that's just for common sense purposes. Anything else to add there, Joe?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head.
Cool. Okay. Lastly, all right. You're not gonna like this one, Joe. But I need to run it by you. I know I saved it for last, and Dan's not here. You once said it's not the what was it? It's not the player. It's not the ball that makes the player, or something like that. In other words, you play with a freaking.
It's not the ball that makes the game. It's the player that makes the game.
There it is, which is true. I mean, ultimately, we could be playing. I think they used to play with tennis balls. You could play with a volleyball, a basketball, a kickball. Trying to figure out what actual Foursquare ball we're going to use for this thing. All right. Hold on just a second here. All right.
Sorry, folks. We got a little bit of physical technical difficulties going on.
Well, I think it's because I just stepped away and am I back?
Yes.
All right. Here I am. All right. So this is I know you might not be able to see it that good or definitely feel it, obviously, but this is the Foursquare ball that I thought was the right one. And you may have seen that I think I included everybody, sent an email over to Bridgton Rec for them to, because they're, again, sponsoring and kind enough to basically purchase the balls for us. And this is the ball that I thought was the right one because it's an 8.5 size, and it's a good, like the grip and everything is good. I like the fact that it has like the Foursquare logo, so it's a literal Foursquare ball. It's not like a kickball that we're using for a Foursquare. I got it like a week ago, and I'm just gonna around today to like actually like put air in it and use it. Dude, it's not good. It is hard. It's like a basketball. Like when you're playing with it, it doesn't have that little like cushiony give. And honestly, for the kids division, this thing hit somebody in the face, it's gonna hurt. Basically it's like a basketball. And I was thinking maybe there was too much air in it. I took some air out. It didn't matter. This is probably not the best ball for us to use. So I'm going to follow up, and they might be hopefully maybe watching this, but I'm going to follow up with the Bridgton Rec folks, see if they've already done it. If they haven't, I'd like to maybe switch what we're going to use. And if they have, maybe there can be a Amazon return or something, because this is the ball. Now it's the same size, which is good. It's the 8.5. Because there are also larger balls that are more like kickballs. I don't know, you probably can't tell the difference, but we're getting way into the weeds here. But like the more that you use the ball, and then the more you need to put air in it, the more the ball actually over time gets a little bit larger. And also there are balls that are just naturally like created and designed to be larger, which I think everything on the Foursquare, what was the old site?
Square4.org.
Thank you. On that, as well as on our site, we all agree that an 8.5 size is the best size for Foursquare. And I think that's what we've always used. And this ball, which I actually got and have, is perfect. And this is what we don't think we used literally this one, but we used like this type of version of a ball, in past years. So this has like the cushiony give that you're used to. It's not like hard, but it's got a great bounce. It's got the grip, and it's got the size. The weird thing is that they don't sell this ball at least on Amazon, in bulk. You have to buy like one for like $20, which is weird, or maybe it's two for $20. So I don't know, Joe, if we can take this offline, maybe try to look around and figure something out. But first, I want to reach out to Bridgton Rec and see what they may or may not have already done. I know we have a call with them next week. There's a lot. There's a lot there. I know I'm getting into the weeds, but I just want to make sure that we're using the right
So
balls.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm not going to like about
Well,
what you just said.
just balls in general, because like it's like whatever. We'll use whatever ball, right? Or
Yeah, literally, whatever.
right? Yeah,
Again,
that's what I'm saying.
it's
Yeah.
like,
The
as
ball,
a
the
player, you need to adapt to
yeah,
your
yeah,
the
I get it.
surroundings.
But it's also like
I've played
the
with the basketball, soccer ball,
I
kickball,
get it.
whatever.
I get it. And as adults, like absolutely. I guess I'm thinking more like again,
The
the
kids,
yeah, like they
which
would
I'm over.
jam fingers. They
See,
would
this is where we're probably gonna start losing viewers if I start opening my mouth. But if it hits a kid in the face, I'll toughen them up perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Nice bruise, kid. Suck it up. You'll be perfectly fine.
I know, and I know we probably lost more than half our viewers at this point talking about the balls like this, but it's just when I got that ball and I blew it up and I started playing with it, I'm like, ooh, this like I mean I'd be okay with it because to your point where like we can adjust to whatever as long as we're all using the same thing, it doesn't matter. But I do think I mean we've been talking a lot about this like over the course of the last year, just, safety and whatnot, and they would jam
Well,
fingers.
I think
It would
the more when it comes to the safety aspect, it was more because of the town
yeah,
hall.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Now that
yeah.
we're in a much larger venue, yeah, we're still going to be safe, but it's going to be safer
Hmm.
because we actually have proper seating area.
Yep,
You know,
yep,
could someone still get hit in the face with the ball if some
of
person
course. Yeah,
decides to punch it?
yeah, yeah,
There's always a chance, but
yeah,
it's not going to be a bystander sitting in a chair right next to a court.
yeah,
It's not going to be that. Like, that
yeah.
risk has gone down tenfold. So,
We can
I
only do
mean,
what we can do. I mean, ultimately, the roof could collapse, the sun could explode. Like, I mean, we can only do what we can do. Um, but I just wanted to be transparent about what occurred with me today in like blowing up this ball and playing with it. I don't think it's the right one for us to use if we have an option of switching to a more like this. Maybe there are still balls at the. I mean, they play Foursquare at Bridgton. I think it's every Fridays or every. I saw it on their website, so they may already have these balls, and I'm making this a bigger deal. But I know that they had asked us to provide them with what balls that we want for them to supply. So I just want to make sure that I'm
yep.
doing
No,
my due diligence and providing the right one. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, follow up, see what they've done or they haven't done yet.
yeah,
And then we'll figure it out from there.
yeah, yeah, will do. Well, I think we will call it a show.
Have
Do you have
you
anything else,
heard,
Joe? Yeah.
have you heard back from Bridgton Rec with everything that we've sent over thus far?
No, I don't think I have
Okay,
actually,
then
but I
we'll
also,
just wait till next week when we have the
yeah,
call.
I wasn't necessarily expecting to hear back because I don't know if, I mean, unless they had any questions, and which maybe
Yeah,
they didn't. But yeah, we have our call with them next
perfect.
week to align and everything. So,
So
um,
other than that, just to get all the viewers on the same page, we have a 10-foot out of bounds area.
yep.
Um,
You know what, Joe? I think I hear where you're going, but I think we should do one more show before the championship, maybe just in a couple of weeks to like it could be like a 20-minute show to literally just talk about anything that's championship related and new instead of like the end of this show where maybe people haven't.
well, I'm just kind of
Or-
listing off a few things just in
Yeah,
case
yeah.
you and I, um, we're not playing off the walls.
Yep.
I think that's really about it. I mean, until we have the final call with Bridgton with the team. Don't think there's anything we need to discuss.
My major concern right now, and I guess I'm saying this here publicly, my major concern right now is getting people to sign up. I don't, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe when we join the call next week, the folks at Bridgton Rec will update us that, hey, we already have 60 people who, I don't know, and if so, that's great. But I'm hearing Brittany not coming. I know Dan's not coming. I did talk to the new person in charge at Whitefield Elementary School, which is like the school that comes, like they bust them all in.
Yep.
Because Judy, who I guess she's out on leave, so she's not with them anymore. So I had a oh crap moment because they bring in about what 30, 40 kids or so. But I did talk to the woman there that's in charge, and she sounds like she's very much on board with kind of picking things up where Judy was. So I'm going to touch base with her later this week. I just don't know. I mean, I'm obviously in Massachusetts. I think the best chances of driving up registrations and competitors is obviously in the general main area. I mean, obviously we always have competitors coming from all over the place, which is great, and I hope that happens again. But I don't know, maybe that's something that we can think about, or we can mention to Bridgton Rec folks, because I don't know what to do about that.
Well, it's basically comes down to marketing,
Yeah.
Flyers, social media presence. I have a couple ideas.
Okay.
I got a couple contacts I can reach out to.
Okay. I mean, colleges, high schools, I think those are the big ones to try to hit on, I would think. But yeah, we can chat offline and hopefully figure this out. So, well, let's see, we're a little bit over an hour, so a longer show here. I hope you all enjoyed having Brittany on. Anything else? Any final words of wisdom, Joe?
People, register, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Love you.
And share, please. Spread the word. The more the merrier. All right, everyone. Till next time. Over and out.